my YouTube friend? Back in the store. It's a rainy, dreary day. I thought it was going to be a really slow day, but we're actually having quite a bit of sales today, so that's great. Let's see. My sleep schedule, I went to bed at 7, I believe, and I woke up at 3. 7 to 3, what is that? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I slept 8 hours, but 7 to 3. I'm going to cycle through the store pretty soon. My wife's back in the shop, which is awesome because the shop just functions better when she's here. And I'm just out of it. I'm not really tired. I'm just kind of out of it. So what are we going to do today? I don't really feel like doing much in the store today. I guess it's just a conversation chat day. Okay, I'm just looking around for things to do. This aisle actually looks pretty organized right now. This is kind of awesome, actually. There's a lot of room. The last few days have been really slow in the shop, so we weren't selling as much because the weather was kind of bad. So I was a little bit worried, but today we're selling a bunch again. So I'm assuming this weekend we'll just have a good weekend. A lot of times the sales just cluster on the weekends, and during the week it's a crapshoot of some days it might be like $100, and then another day it might be $1,200. So I never know what's going to happen during the week, but I usually can rely on Saturday and Sunday. Oh, I just remembered I do have to dig through Toby stuff, so I will do that in a couple minutes and show you guys everything that's in that, and then that box is full as well. I've been thinking a lot about toy or comic investing and just the value of things in general. So in 2013, around 2013, maybe 2014, somewhere around there, I remember first hearing about Bitcoin, and the price had jumped from like nothing to $700. And in my mind, I was thinking, wow, this is some crazy newfangled thing. And I kind of had a little bit of that FOMO feeling. So I was thinking about buying a Bitcoin for $700 at the time. And I thought, maybe it'll keep going up. I have no idea. I couldn't really predict it. I just thought, maybe I would miss out. And I was talking to one of my friends, and he's like, "Oh, that's stupid. Why? It's like, what is it?" And I was like, "You know what? I don't know what it is." All right, so I didn't do it. And over the years, since then, it went to 10,000, 15,000, 60,000. And I thought, did I make a mistake, right? And I kind of worried about it. I thought, why didn't I just buy that Bitcoin? But just recently, in the last 6 months, I've been thinking, what did I buy instead of Bitcoin at the time? So I remember at that time, I bought an uncut sheet of Pokemon holofoil cards. It was worth about $100. Someone traded it into the shop. I paid them $50. And I thought, this is going to be worth something one day. No way this is worth $100. So I held on to it. Last summer or 2 years ago when Pokemon really exploded, that sheet went up to like $10,000, $15,000. I think it's back down to like $3,000 or $5,000. I probably should have sold it last summer, but I didn't think about it because I had it buried away. But even if I got $2,000 out of it from a $50 investment, what is that, 40 times? So if I had bought Bitcoin at 700, I would have made 85 times my money. So I bought that Pokemon sheet. I made 50 times my money. It's not quite as good as Bitcoin, but it was something I knew. So I trusted in keeping that. I bought a Captain Marvel number 17, the B variant with Miss Marvel on the cover. I thought it was super cool. I loved Miss Marvel at the time. And I was like, I want this. I didn't know it would have value, but I paid $3.50. Today, that same issue, it's a near mint copy, is worth $3,500. So that's 1,000 times my money. That beat Bitcoin 10 times over. If I had bought more stuff like that, I would be mega rich today, right? I also bought Ultimate Fallout. I remember thinking, oh, this is really cool. We have a black Spider-Man. He's a cool character. I think he's going to be worth something one day. So I went out my way and I wasn't buying first prints because I couldn't find them in quantity. I probably end up buying about 10 of them out of dollar bins, or if I bought them in a collection, I just held on to them because I thought they were so undervalued at the time. They were like $5, $10. So I put those away. I remember buying 10 copies of the second print with the white cover for $1 each, just like a wholesale, 10 of them. Put those away. Those are worth $300 today, maybe $300. So that's 200 to 300 times what I invested, right? And then I also bought the second printing that looks like the first printing, but just says second print in like little letters. I think I bought like 5 or 10 of those. So I end up buying probably about 30 copies of Ultimate Fallout 4, probably paid like $60, right? And overall, those are worth tens of thousands of dollars total. So that was way better of a return than Bitcoin. So what I've learned, or what I really thought about, is when I'm investing or when I'm buying things I like that I think will have future value, it's better to go down the path that you know, that you enjoy, and that you have fun with, that you have confidence with, than the path of FOMO, right? If you're buying something just because you think it'll go up in value, but you're not sure and you're afraid of missing out, in life, I mean, sometimes I'll pay big. If you bought Bitcoin at 700, it's worth 60,000. That would have been amazing. But what I did made me even more value. But I took the path that I enjoyed, that I had knowledge in, and it paid off, right? So my thought is not the regrets of the FOMA. Just invest and buy the things you enjoy. And if you enjoy it, someone else will enjoy it, and someone else will pay even more to enjoy it in the future. So I think that's a great idea. I was just having a conversation with my friend Alex. He was messaging me about a General Thrawn pop. Last year, he wanted to sell it because it went to $100. And I think that was right when they first mentioned him in The Mandalorian. I said, oh, you should hold on to that. I think it'll be worth more. He's like, you sure? It's $100. So he held on to it. And he just messaged me again. He's like, I'm thinking about selling it. I know he's going to be a comment. So I looked into it. I compared it to all the other Star Wars pops that are out there right now. Currently, I think there's about 15,000 General Thrawns out there. So he's not rare. But he's going for like $240 right now. I think that's a pretty high price for the amount that are out there. So I said, you know what? It's a perfect time. He might show up in the Obi-Wan show. But I think speculation is so strong right now that the values go up before the show. Like the Moon Knight pops went to 100 something each. Now that the show's coming out, when the show's over, I think those are going to come back down a little bit, right? So the speculation, if you have stuff to sell, it's probably better to sell before the show comes out, like right before, not years before, but like if the price jumps a lot, to sell before the show and not really after the show, because everyone's going to dump them when the show comes out. So I had someone comment on one of my videos yesterday. He was trying to give me advice to do well, and so I think he meant good. It sounded kind of trolly. But one of his advices was like clean up my face, cut my hair, have a better haircut, wear more colorful clothing, that kind of stuff. I'm going to show you my haircut. It's hideous. It's not the best, but you know what? I don't care. I cut it myself, right? I've been bullied and made fun of my whole life, and I'm at the point where I don't need to make myself look pretty for everyone else. My wife loves me. She thinks I'm handsome. That's all that I care about, right? I don't need to have the most perfect hair or facial. And here's the why. When I was 16 years old, I had long hair down to my shoulders. I just grew it long because I liked it long. I could put it in a ponytail, but I just had it because I just didn't like going to the barbershop. So finally, I decided, you know what? I'm going to go to the barbershop. I walked in and the guy was making fun of me the whole time. Why is my hair this long? This is crazy. You look like a hippie, that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I hated the experience. It wasn't fun. It wasn't like a relaxing haircut. I was being berated the whole time. I've never paid for a haircut since, right? And I'm 46 years old now, or almost 46. So that's 30 years of not paying for haircuts. Let's say you pay $100 a year for haircuts. Some people pay $200, $300 for better haircuts. Let's say $100 a year times the 30 years I haven't paid for it. That's $3,000. I'd rather buy cool toys and comic books, and the $3,000 that I saved on haircuts, I've invested in stuff that's probably worth, that $700 I would have spent on a Bitcoin, I probably got it from not cutting my hair, and then, that could be worth $60,000. So this shitty haircut, the value in it might be worth tens of thousands of dollars over time. Right? I'm pretty, right? You love my haircut? Yeah, I don't care. I just cut it myself. My hair is just utilitarian, right? In the winter, I grow it really long and I have a crazy caveman beard because I'm cold. I want to be warm. In the summer, I shave my head. I cut it short because I don't want to be hot. That's all I'm doing. It's not about fashion or anything. This is just who I am. I'd rather spend the money on something awesome. The other thing, I wear black t-shirts, right? The guy said I should wear something colorful. Again, this is just the purpose. When I buy a lighter color shirt, I'm a slob. I'm a nerd, right? I eat my tacos and drop shit all over my shirt when I eat them. Lighter color shirts stain real easy. If I get a nice black shirt, I can wear this thing for years. I don't have to buy new shirts, and I love a shirt. This is a cool My Hero Hello Kitty mashup. I wear this shirt because it reminds me of my wife. She loves Hello Kitty. She loves My Hero. So this is I love my wife's shirt. That's why I wear it, because it makes me think of her, and it's like she's hugging me when I wear it. So that's special. I don't need to impress anyone else. This is for me because I love her. I wear this jacket because I'm cold. It warms me up. And you know how I got this jacket? This is like an $80 to $100 jacket. Really, really comfy jacket. It's like lined with wool. This is a freebie from Uline when I bought the really expensive shelves. So I spent like $10,000 last year on shelves for the store. I like spending money on stuff that makes me money and makes my store better and helps me with the business. I don't want to spend it on fashion. If I get a really awesome warm jacket for free, I'm going to wear the crap out of it because that's just who I am, right? And then I have very sensitive, My skin is very sensitive. I'm very sensitive to textures. Like my fingers, they don't really have as much oil in them or something, so I have no grip on my fingers, right? When I was in my 20s, I loved playing basketball, and I couldn't grip the ball, and it was really frustrating. So I couldn't really dribble really well. I could jump really high, I couldn't dribble. But because of that, I feel texture way stronger. So like if I feel something that's got a little dust on it, the dust feels like grains of sand to me. So like if my wife's cleaning something, I'm like, oh, you didn't clean this. And she's like, yes, I did. It's because I feel all those like little sand boulders all over the object. I'm more sensitive to touch. But because of that, also my clothing, I'm more sensitive. So if I have like a tag on my shirt and I feel it scratching on the back of my neck, it drives me insane all day. If I wear heavy pants that feel like they're kind of dragging on my skin, I just don't wear it. So what do I wear? I wear crazy sweatpants that are super comfy. I wear thermal socks to keep my feet warm. And I wear black shirts so I don't stain them, so I don't have to spend more money. And, you know, I work crazy hours every day, and I want to be in much comfort as I can be. Sometimes you'll find me working in my store with my shoes off. I'm that kind of crazy person. Why? Because maybe my feet are tired, and I just want to be comfortable. For me, it's all about the comfort. And if people want to judge me for that, that's fine. You know why? Because I'm enjoying what I do. I enjoy my life. I enjoy my family. And I don't have to be fashionable. I don't care. I love fashion. In fact, I studied fashion a little bit in college. I collect fashion magazines. I love a beautiful gown. I love fashion. I am not fashionable, right? I love fashion, but I'm not fashionable. I love superhero comics, but I'm not a superhero, right? So I'm not going to change. You're going to get a full-on craziness in all my videos because that's just who I am. I'm sharing my life, and I'm sharing. Normally, when I'm going through these weird sleep schedules, I just stop doing videos. I try to do nighttime videos. I'm going to share more of myself with you guys this year because I think it's been fun kind of connecting with other people that deal with the same kind of struggles that I have. And just to let people know I'm just a normal person that struggles with things, right? I'm not like a super star YouTuber or whatever. I just share my life, and if it's popular or if a lot of people watch it, that's thrilling to me because I'm just sharing with you who I am, and I'm not trying to be someone different, right? That's just my life. Okay, rant over. All right, let me get back to work. All right, so I had another person leave a comment. They said that, you know, they loved the big collection hauls and that, but they felt like it was kind of sad that people had to get rid of their collections. But I find that actually most people sell their collections not because of a tragedy or they are forced to or something that they, you know, were needed to do right at the moment. I find that, you know, the number one reason why people trade in is they bought too much when they first started collecting and they wanted to, you know, pare down the collection, make it a little bit smaller. And a lot of people trade for store credit, right? I give 75% for anything that's over $15. So let's say they bring in $100 worth of pops that are over that price, and then they, you know, they trade it in. I give them $75 in value, and then they get something cool for their collection. A lot of times people will take a stack of like 10 pops, and then those 10 pops, they'll trade into one better pop. It's worth a little bit less than the total of the 10, but overall their collection is better. So that's actually the number one reason that happens the most often when people are trading in. But, you know, there's a few other reasons. I have had a lot of really nice, happy reasons why people traded stuff in. One time, this guy, Greg, one of the biggest collections I ever bought, he actually tried selling online. He sold, I think like one really expensive $800 pop, but he found it a really hard process. It was not easy for him. So by the time I was ready to buy, he was happy I was ready to buy because he didn't have time or energy to sell anymore. And I gave him $7,000 and he used that money as a down payment for a townhouse. I think that was an awesome use. Last week, someone sold me a big collection. He was using the money to help pay for his daughter's wedding. I think that's a brilliant, awesome way to sell your collection, right? I had a guy a few years ago sell his collection because he wanted to help his daughter with her first year of college. So he's giving all the money for her, and she was going into the medicine field. She was studying to be a doctor. I thought that was amazing, and that was so awesome of him to sell the collection. And they had collected together, so it was like something they had done together for a few years that was really rewarding. And then, but it was time to sell the collection and help her have just an awesome life. I thought that was really cool. Now, a lot of people sometimes say like, oh, you're ripping off people, or I'm just like not giving them. I need to be a business in a sense that I need to pay a price that is fair to me so that I can make it my job, that I can buy and sell stuff. People basically, when they sell to me, they are hiring me and paying me like $20 an hour basically to sell the collection for them. Maybe $15, maybe $30. Really depends on the quality of the collection. But basically, when people sell and trade to me, they're hiring me to sell their stuff for them. So I'm working for a fair wage. I'm not making a huge profit on everything. You know, if I spend $3,000 on a $6,000 collection, that $3,000 is going to come with a lot of hours of work. It's not just like, boom, I have a magical machine, I can shove it in there and I get a lot of profit. It's actually going to just be me working my butt off trying to, you've been watching my videos. I work a lot of hours every day and people want me to sell online. If I sell online, that just adds a whole more ton of work to sell stuff. So it's not an easy job, but it's a job I love. And so, I'm trying to think, there are a few times it was kind of tragic. I once had 4 kids come in from age 10 to like 20 maybe, and the father had died. So they brought in his comic collection and like their uncle had already gone through it and pulled out all the good stuff. So what was left was junk. It was worthless, honestly. And I didn't really want it, but I felt so bad for them. So I ended up giving them $600 to help for the funeral costs. And that comic collection sat in my store unprocessed for years. I just recently moved it to my basement last month maybe, but it was in the store for like 4 or 5 years, just cluttering it up. I just didn't want to deal with it. I would go eventually deal with it because a lot of stuff was dirty and damaged. But at the time, I felt really bad for them, so I helped them out. I had one lady once come in, her brother had died. So she sold me all his trading cards. Last summer, I had a guy whose uncle had died and he inherited a whole room full of trading cards and toys. I think most collectors, if you leave this planet, I think that most collectors want to see their stuff go on to other collectors and have happy homes and not just be thrown out in trash. So my feeling is keep that person's interest and heart alive by making their collection go to other people. So sometimes it is tragic, but I think most time people sell to me just because it's just a lot of work and they don't have the time to deal with it and they want to use the money for something special. I mean, the other thing that people sell to me very often is moving. When you move, it's just a big ordeal to deal with a whole ton of stuff and just have all that stuff that you got to move. So sometimes it's easier just to box it up, bring it to my shop. I give a fair offer and they don't have to deal with it, right? And then maybe after they move, if they want to collect again, they'll slowly collect it. Collecting is fun, selling is not. So a lot of people, they just, they need a shop like mine to buy their stuff. And I know I pay fair values because I know a lot of the shops. I had one guy last week come in with some pops. He had about $600 worth of pops, $700 worth of pops. Another local comic shop offered him $80, $80, right? So like that feels like a ripoff to me. He brought them in. He took out one $330 pop. I offered him $290 or $80, something like that, for the rest of the pops. I was happy because I would double my money, maybe it's slightly a bit more on the cheaper stuff. And he was happy because the other store, offered him $80 and he got triple and he kept the $330 pop. It's crazy to me what some shops offer. But right now I'm specializing in pops. So if you bring me a $150 pop, I'm going to give you $75. I'm going to pay a fair price. If you bring me a $500 pop, I'm going to pay you $250. If you buy me $10 pop, might be only $4 just because the cheap stuff is harder to sell, or it's harder to sell profitably online just because of fees and shipping and supplies, all that. A $10 pop, you might make $2 if you paid $5. It's not worth paying $5 for that because it's just not worth the time. That's why I pay a little bit cheaper on the cheap stuff. But it just is what it is. But I buy it. A lot of stores don't even want the cheap stuff. I'll buy it all. And here's the thing. I'll buy stuff other than pops. I want action figures. I want crane game statues. I want art toys. Chomps. I want art toys. I want cool Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. I want video game stuff, right? I want video games and video game stuff. I want comic books, Marvel Legends. I would love to buy a giant collection of Marvel Legends. I don't get these that often because people don't think I buy them, but I do. I just sell out. Star Wars figures, I've sold these for years. I've sold thousands of these. Star Wars stuff, I love Star Wars stuff. Horror figures, I need as much as I can get. Sealed packs of trading cards, this is my bread and butter. If you had sealed packs of 1992 worthless cards, I want them because I love selling packs. People love buying packs. It's all about the thrill of opening up a pack and seeing what you have inside. So yeah, if you have a whole ton of sealed boxes, this is what I want. I sell Pokemon cards. I sell rares and, Vs, VMAXs, all that kind of stuff. Okay, Omar just dropped off a box of stuff. I had made an appointment with him that I forgot about, but I'm going to dig through here and see. Oh, he's got some cool stuff in here. Oh, nice. All right. Looks like we have a whole bunch of Demon Slayer stuff. which is super popular right now. Are all your sodas commons, or is there any chases?
There's one chase.
Okay, so there's a whole bunch of sodas. One of these is a chase. I'm gonna open them all up in a minute just to see what is what. We have Azula, the Big Apple Com exclusive. That one is cool. I actually might need that one. We have Shanks from One Piece. That one's going to go. I think a few people have been asking me for that one. We have Pennywise from Funhouse. That one's super cool. Okay, sodas I'm going to open up in a minute. Oh, this one is super cool. We have the Metallic King Shark. That one I'm actually keeping because I wanted that one. That was on my want list. Wow, try not to keep stuff, but there's so much cool stuff. Okay, Twice, that one I do have. I just kept it last week. Okay, sodas we'll go through in a minute. One of these is a chase, so I'm actually really excited to go through. I kind of hope it's that one. We have another one of these. That's super cool. I got a bunch last week and they all sold really quick. Another Shanks. Oh, sweet. There's multiples of all these. That's great. Those are all on demand. And then Zula, we have multiples of that. So there's 3 more of those. And 2 more of these. Oh, sweet. Okay, this is all really cool stuff. Another Shanks. And then this is one I am keeping because I've wanted this one since last year or whenever it came out. This one's amazing. We have the Blacklight Ghost Rider. Wow, okay, this is a small collection, but a very amazing collection. All right, let me open up all the sodas and show you what's inside. Okay, we have the sodas open. We have Fuzzy Lumpkins, Mojo Jojo, the Mojo Jojo Chase, which I'm keeping. Any chases I don't own, I'm keeping for now, just because they're really hard to get. Vampire Freddy, absolutely love this one. I did keep one last week. And Zombie Captain America one. This one's super cool. I had someone trade in the chase. He's missing the can though, so I might, and the token. I might keep the can, put it with the chase, but I don't know how I'm gonna get the token. But that's pretty cool. All right, let's go through this stuff. I just want to get done today. So we do have one Kato Funko Pop. That is neat. This bag is all loose figures. I think most of these I'll be selling, but a few things like this Godzilla I have to keep because he's amazing. Look how cool he looks. Love that stuff. Okay, actually, let me set these all up on a tray just so we can look at them all at once. All right, first tray of figures is pretty cool. The Black Series stuff, I usually sell out of the package for about $7 to $10. I usually pay like $3 to $5 for those. Small figures like this, I usually sell for $3 to $5, and I usually pay like $1 to $2 for those. And then the vintage Masters of the Universe stuff. This stuff I have to look up on eBay, and if it's over $10, I'll give about half the value. If it's under $10, probably like 40% of the value. They're probably over the 10. And then the anime stuff, this stuff is probably going to be like $5 to $7 a figure. I'll probably pay 2 or 3 for those. Very cool. I might actually keep her. She's kind of neat looking. All right, let me fill up another tray. All right, tray 2 is pretty awesome. I love this Mr. T figure. I think that's Mr. T. It looks like him. It's like a modern He-Man type figure. The They Live figures, these are amazing. I hadn't seen these before in person. Those I'm probably going to put in my own collection. We have some more cool Star Wars stuff. The Yusugi Yojimbo figures, these are amazing too. Those I'll probably keep. Love the Pee Wee Herman. That is awesome. That'll sell really well. Cool stuff. I love getting a mix of the vintage stuff and the new stuff. The Crouching Tiger Hidden Dragon figure is probably the only one that's going to be hard to sell in this pile. Awesome stuff. A lot of people say I keep too much stuff, and other people say, you know, don't get high on your own supply. But my philosophy is cash in the bank does nothing. Collectibles go up in value. So I'd rather have my value in collectibles than in cash. I need cash to pay bills, but I'd rather have my money in collectibles than in cash. We have another tray of awesome stuff. A few loose pops, which sell pretty well. More vintage He-Man stuff. Love that. We have a alien figure. One of these newer like wrestling He-Man type figures, which is cool. Some more loose stuff. A little Cupid figure. And just more Star Wars stuff. Awesome things in this bag. We have another tray of figures here. Some more vintage Masters of the Universe. And Star Wars. And I think that's also Alien. Cool stuff. Okay, now there's a bag I need to dig through that's Masters of the Universe, I believe. Okay, I forget their names, but there's a lot of parts for this guy. Masters of the Universe, and then there's lots of parts for this guy, which is fun. You know, the fun mix and match guys, extra head for They Live, and some extra parts for the anime stuff. Very fun. Okay, this box has more stuff. I think there's a lot of comic books. Those I'm going to save for Pop Comics, and these I'm going to just set up and show you on a tray, I think. And there's one like art figure statue thing in there. Not sure what that is. Okay, let me set up the figures. Okay, so this was just Kill Bill stuff. That stuff I'm not gonna take it out of the bags because I don't want to lose all the bits and bobs. But those I'm probably gonna sell $8 a piece. I'm gonna double check the values online, just make sure I'm not underpaying him. But I don't think this series has a ton of value out of the package like that. Cool stuff though. I love that movie. All right, it was a really busy day, a lot busier than I thought it was going to be, but I'm also kind of taking it easy. I didn't go too crazy. I did do that trade with Omar. I remember I set it up last week. I just had forgotten, but his stuff was amazing. Really good stuff for the store. I know it's going to sell really quick because everyone's always looking for that anime stuff, especially the Demon Slayer and some of that newer hot stuff. I think I'm going to put the comic books from this box onto Pop Comics. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!